Hey yo, what is up everybody? It is your boy kidProdigy coming from the paid review. Before we go ahead and dive into this video, I want to make sure it is very clear that I am not an investment advisor in any form of way. This advice right here is just purely my thoughts on the market as it's moving. Do not take any of this and run with it. I would take it very lightly with a grain of salt and base anything else that you personally believe off of anything that I may say here. With all that being said, though, let's go ahead. We're gonna overview the markets. Forgive my camera. Gotta get this shit fixed. It's kind of bugging, but it'll work. It'll get the point across. Um, Again, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna look at the overview of the markets as a whole. I'm gonna give you my personal thoughts behind what I'm looking at here, what we're personally getting ready to trade up on this week coming up, and yeah, that's what this video will be. Hopefully, you guys can learn something out of it, and hopefully, you guys make a little bit of money out of it too. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's talk about let's start looking at the markets. We're going to talk about where I kind of think they're going to move over the span of this next week, and then where the longevity of this trend is probably going to take it. Now, one thing to be very cautious of is we're looking at Nasdaq right now. Please note that since the beginning of the year, the Nasdaq is pretty much like up, I think, 4,000 points. I think they opened this year around like 14,500, and they've since moved to 18.6. So let's go ahead and we can actually double check that. Let's go January 1st. We're trading as a opening of the year. It looks like on the fifth or 6th of the year they dropped to 14.4. So I'm gonna really call that like 4,000 points since the beginning of the year. That's pretty much from the lowest mark. So Nasdaq's up 4,000 points. That's a lot. Uh, where do I anticipate seeing them going? I still think that they're going to be trending north rest of the year. I don't necessarily think we're going to have a bear market where everything falls off and all the gains run away. I don't think that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a regular pullback followed by a regular rebound, and this trend will probably carry on throughout the rest of the year. I do project Nasdaq to close this year probably in 19,000s. I'm not sure if I want to say the low 19,000s or mid yet. My gut's saying mid, but there is a chance that it probably stays. Now, you know what? I'm going to take that back. Really, I am going to take that back. I want to be a little bit more bullish. Yeah, I want to be a little bit more bullish about my assessment here. I want to say that Nasdaq's probably going to close the year close to 20. So maybe the high end of 19s. I think that would be more realistic to see. And there's a lot of reasons going into that. We can go ahead and we can just start looking around and explaining why. First of all, you have Tesla. It is a monster of an asset. Why I foresee this being a big pack or a big reason to see the markets continue to trend north is I don't see Tesla falling anytime soon. I mean, this mark right here, this is regular to me. These are within the levels that were already charted. So this was perfect pullback, perfect bounce. I honestly wouldn't even be too scared to see a kind of trade down sideways along in the 230, the low 230 range before getting back up over that 270 before it kind of forms like a cup and handle almost over the 271 high up here. But Tesla, they just did, I think it was an 11 or 12 day green day streak, closing green day after day. Very impressive. So this movement right here anticipated they needed to see some kind of retracement, and we got it. But one thing that I definitely am very interested to see how this plays out and adds factors. I personally think that you're going to have Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia spearheading for #1 for the rest of the year. I think it's going to be a hell of a battle. Honestly, may the best asset win this one, right? I think that Nvidia has a lot of room to grow. I think that they have a lot of potential. They're already leading in the chip sector. I do think that they have a lot of potential to add to the markets throughout the rest of this year. Again, this will be another asset to keep your eyes on as the as the year comes to a close. We're moving through it pretty quickly. ARM, is another really big asset that I have been fond of for quite some time now. Um, as you can see, these levels are being quite respected still. It's actually been a little minute since I've come back to ARM and taken a look out. I really do like what I'm seeing here. Beautiful charts, a lot of opportunity here. Maybe we come back and see something out of it this week. Um, but yeah, let's just go back and let's kind of assess here. So why do I think that Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft are going to be kind of just headbutting here? It's really because I think these are the only three that are dominant enough in their sector right now, in their area, in their field, to really keep making headlines. And I think headlines are what is going to draw the retail investors back into this. And you're just going to see a massive competition between retail and corporate, really just making some crazy trades in the market throughout the rest of the year around all the AI hype. At some point, there's going to be a boom bust. Um, there has to be. You know, I think there's only so far that this can go before the real world implications start to roll around the corner and the world starts to say, okay, holy shit, maybe things are or maybe people as a whole are overreacting. Um, so yeah, I think that there's still quite a bit of time between that happening. Uh, but because of that reasoning, I do definitely believe we're gonna see these guys make an all-out frickin' war throughout the rest of the year. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much just some small insights behind the market. Um, I guess we can get a little bit more specific. Um, Moving into this upcoming week, what am I going to be looking at? I like Tesla. I really like Tesla. Um, but I know this stock. I really can get caught on the downside when I'm in my bull mode. When I'm thinking that we're just fucking climbing this mountain um, until there's no mountain left. That's when the bears typically tend to come out, and I've gotten caught here before. So I'm going to say right now I've been wrong on Tesla's trend in the past. But I've also been right in the past, and right now I think that I think we're gonna stand to trade sideways, cup and handle over 271. There might be a further fall down into the 230s where it trades on for a minute and relaxes before getting wild again. Um, and if I'm wrong, then you're gonna see a quick cup and handle in the beginning of this upcoming week, and that'll reaffirm for Tesla if they're going to keep trending closer to 300 sooner, or if they're going to take a little break, trade sideways here, and then get back to action. But that's what I would tell you to anticipate off of Tesla is watch for it to trade sideways, um, or watch for the first 3 days of this upcoming week for it to get itself over 271. If it can do that, then Tesla's still in the move and still going to keep climbing before we see another pullback. So that is what I'll say for Tesla. Now, Nvidia. Nvidia is going to make some impressive moves here. To be 100% honest with you, I kind of I kind of want to leave this alone. And the reason I say that is because I feel like I feel like Nvidia just did the 10 for 1. They ran a little extra off the 10 for 1, and then now they're trading sideways. And my real input to Nvidia, to my fear of Nvidia, is going to stem from the whole war going on right now. That the news is doing whatever they can to cover parts, ignore other parts, and the rest of the world's playing whatever role they want to play to it. But I do believe that Nvidia is in a peculiar spot with their headquarters in Taiwan and with China's interest in Taiwan. Um, I mean, I've never really in my generation or in my time, I've never watched how war really can impact big companies before. So I don't know what the end result of something like China invading Taiwan could be for Nvidia. Um, but it is something that I am adding to my kind of risk factor here when I'm thinking about my trades is that I need to keep watching the China relations with Taiwan and how serious things are getting over there. The more serious that they get, the more I'm going to kind of back away from Nvidia. But for the time being, I still think there's plenty of volatility and plenty of momentum to trade out of this thing and get a couple dollars out on a weekly time frame. Um, Microsoft, another beautiful stock to watch. I don't trade Microsoft. I will make that very clear. I think if I have ever traded Microsoft, it's been with option contracts and it's been very minimal. I'm not actively trading this, but I am actively observing it as I have to with the markets. And like I said, Nvidia, Microsoft, and um, excuse me, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Apple. They're the big leaders right now. They're the guys with the 3.3s trillion in their market cap. They're the guys that are going to keep making the headlines while one topples the other and one folds today. You know, they're going to keep spreading headlines. It's going to be what we're watching. Now, this I mentioned it earlier. I'll bring it back up. ARM. I think I'll need to sit back after this video comes out. I'll have to actually sit back and get more detailed about what I like so much about ARM. But I've been trading ARM since it was down in the mid 60s. It gapped up over 100, and since then we're at 188. This is all within its first year of an IPO. You're going to catch the company from 50 to a little over like I said, 188. Um, in a remarkable move. It's doing phenomenal. Truth be told, I'm anticipating that in September this will be over $200. Um, I really do think ARM might be the next stock that has potential to get up to $1 trillion here. Um, that is a massive assessment, and I'll take credit for it. Definitely a crazy call. Um, but I do think that not it's not going to happen this year. But I do think that ARM over probably the next 4 to 5 years has one of the strongest chances to get into $1 trillion of market cap. Um, Mara, we'll talk Mara a little bit. I've been trying to keep it on the radar along with some other crypto. We got CLSK. Um, Kind of moving again with Bitcoin as Bitcoin's recently starting to get a little bit more wild. Uh, I like that high 50 range. I think that is that next load range before we catch Bitcoin running back over its high of 73, close to 74,000. God, something tells me about November. Something about November and a couple of these stocks are are something to watch for, man. Shit, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'd be damned if I come back and a couple of these motherfuckers are doing some moves around November, or after November. You know, something big might be happening. Um, GameStop's just a fucking catalyst. You know, that's a lot of. I'm not gonna keep running through everything I'm looking at here, guys. Um, we're gonna cut this video here. It's already running a little bit longer than I was anticipating. Uh, Again, just the general overview of this. The point of this video is to show that I still think that there's room for the markets to keep running throughout this year. I think that there's a lot of potential in some of our big blue chips that we've been watching over the last few months. Um, and yeah, I think that there are, again, opportunities for everybody to make a little, uh, a little something from nothing, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end this video here. Markets open 9:30 Monday morning. Uh, For those of you who are watching this video and are not part of the community, I welcome you guys to join the community. Would love to see new faces around. Love to keep the conversations rolling. You guys teach me shit every single time that I talk to you guys, and hopefully you guys are learning and making some money on the back end from learning from us too. Um, we are going to eventually start rolling out live trading. I've been talking about this for a minute. I do want to switch up how you guys are sometimes getting these calls and getting the information. I believe that the quicker you can react, the better it is. Um, Markets are a fast-moving thing, and it's hard to be a couple paces behind. So we'll be rolling that out eventually. It is around the corner. I want you guys to know it's around the corner. Yeah, but hey man, until then, kidProdigy out. I'll catch you guys this week if you're with us. If not, you'll catch us later. Peace out, people.